Martial Arts Musings, yeah.
Welcome everybody to Martial Arts Musings. I'm your host Dwight, and with me today is Sifu Azeem. Welcome to the program.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Alright, so what we're going to do with this cast is going to be a video cast. So Shahid and Sifu Azeem are going to show you in these we recorded two clips earlier, a little bit ago. And this first one is going to be about 6 minutes, so let's get started. And so we see them bowing in right now. And this is the traditional bow for...
Yeah, this is the traditional bow for Balintawak Taboada system. So we say, attention from my heart, you're welcome with respect. And basically when we say you're welcome, that means all are welcome.
I see. Then it looks like you're showing...
Basically I'm showing with my son the basic traditional positioning of defending in this system, to be able to defend your bubble. So it's very dynamic, as you can see, and the stick is pretty much vertical.
Gotcha.
To protect the body.
I see, and then he also has his other hand up.
His other hand is up to protect his face, his body, vital areas of the human body.
I see.
And now my son is demonstrating the basic 12 strikes. And within these 12 strikes turns into thousands, but this is the basic 12 strike pattern.
Okay, and these are just, it's just called the basic 12 or something.
Yeah, the basic 12 strikes.
No fancy name for that one.
No. That's one thing about our system, simplicity, effectiveness.
Excellent, that's what I like to hear.
So now, my son and myself, we're in what's called semi-advanced position. This is a little bit more dynamic. So when you look at my son in the position that he's in, it looks almost kind of like boxing.
I see.
So, and now he's demonstrating the 12 basic strikes full power.
Okay, so instead of with you in range, it's you out of range and he's just going full.
Yeah, he's going
full speed, full power.
Exactly, because I don't want to get cracked by that stick. So, after the 12 basic strikes, we go into what's called the defense and counter, but the whole thing with the 12 basic strikes and the 12 basic strikes full power is to get the student to have very good control of his or her stick.
I see.
So,
gotcha.
So now this is called defense and counter and control. So I'm throwing those same 12 basic strikes to my son, and he's defending and countering those basic strikes. But if you notice, he comes to a stop about 6 inches from the face.
Right.
And this is why we call it in control.
I see. And so you don't get any closer, so you don't hurt each other.
Yeah, and we don't want the student to get used to, going that close, because in all actuality, that's going to be a strike to the face with the stick going full speed.
I see.
So that's why we stop and then we swoosh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So now what we're going to be demonstrating here is basically this in a random feed, because the student, which is my son, he actually knows the pattern really well. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to throw him random strikes and he has to defend and counter.
And I see, and that looks like it's pretty much full speed. Then.
Yeah, well, right there is not as fast as we normally go, but it's not scripted, it's not choreographed. Right. It's like I'm throwing random. He has to defend.
Yeah, gotcha.
So now we kind of slow it up in this next clip a little bit, just to kind of show the reaction times. And basically he's always aiming for the head when he counters. He's always going for the head. Because in Balintawak, especially Taboada style, we're considered headhunters.
I see.
That's what we want. We'll hit any part of the body, don't get me wrong, but what stops the whole body? The head.
Right.
So,
take that out and the rest goes with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Looks like you're explaining something that I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
it looks like we're doing this.
Yeah, so right now, my son is basically demonstrating power striking, but he's doing it at full speed, and this is what we call shadow fighting form.
Okay.
And basically in this form, our teacher, Grandmaster Bobby Taboada, who we're all under, and Guru John Soriano, this is our core form. It's our only form. So pretty much everything in our system is based off of this form.
I see.
So it teaches you stick control, speed, power, body flexibility, and movement, in all aspects. So if you notice, like my son, his movements are very dynamic, but it's really fast and it's really powerful.
It's really fast and powerful. Yeah, it looks like it. And so this is the basis of almost the entire...
Yeah, the entire system. What I like to tell a lot of students and a lot of my classmates, practice this form at least twice every single day.
Okay.
Practice it slow, practice it fast.
Right.
And really dissect it. Just like with Kung Fu, you have your form, you dissect it, you find all the goodies, right?
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing with this.
I see. All right. Let's see. Now you're showing, I believe, without the weapons, that you're applying the same principles.
Yes. So basically everything that we do with the stick, we can do with a blade. We can do with a machete. We can do with empty hands, our legs. So you're not just reduced to like, okay, if I have a stick, that if I don't have a stick, I can't do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, this is what makes the martial art very effective. It's like, if you don't have a stick, hey, you're not out of your element. You're not out of your element. You can still adapt.
Right. You just have to change your distance.
Yeah, change your distance, get closer. And and then that also can turn into bladed movement, and it can turn into grappling movement.
Right.
So like I said, everything we do with the stick, you can do with the blade. You can do empty hands, legs. Your body is your weapon.
Right.
The weapon is just an extension of the body. Right.
Exactly.
So. Now, what my son is demonstrating here is what we call defense, encounter, and control. This is what you do without the partner. So when you're practicing by yourself on your own, you're practicing defending your body with this shadow form.
Right.
So it's not shadow fighting form. We call it defense, encounter, and control.
Gotcha.
Now he's going to do what's called defense, encounter, with no control. Well, basically it's full extension, full power.
I see.
See?
Yeah.
So how he follows through, he's actually hitting.
And so this is good for just your students to practice at home and by themselves if they don't have any partners or just in between classes.
Exactly. And this gets you all the body dynamic that you need. It gets you really well versed in protecting, like I say, protecting your bubble. When I say the bubble, that's your body.
Right.
So.
Awesome.
And now what we're doing here is basically we're doing like a random, like, okay, I'm throwing this. Now we're going into what's called the grouping system. And the grouping system is a what-if system.
I see.
Nothing in martial arts is static. We practice a lot of things that's static in any martial art.
Right.
But in all actuality, what this is a what-if situation. What if this happens? So this first one is called Group 1, lifting and clearing. That's the basic principle, is lifting and clearing. So he lifts, he clears, he strikes. He lifts, he clears, he strikes.
I see.
So no matter what happens, when something gets grabbed, he lifts it, pops it up, and strikes and counters.
I see.
So if you notice, it just gets to the point, no matter when he gets touched, he pops it up.
Right. So yeah.
So as you can see, now I'm grabbing him, and he pops me off, and he counters. He goes right straight to the head.
Yeah.
And notice that's the primary target, the head.
Right.
Let's get the head. But if the head's not available, then whatever body part will do.
Right. All right. So stop that one. Hold up. So let's preface this. So this one, looks like you just are starting to go full board.
Yeah. In this, if I remember right, in this video, I just wanted to mention, going back to the grouping system, we have 5 grouping systems. The first one is lifting and clearing. The second grouping system is lifting and clearing with head movement. The third grouping system is body flexibility.
Okay.
The fourth is speed and reflex. And 5 is defense against punches while in stick fighting motion.
I gotcha.
So these are the primary principles of the grouping, the what-if situation.
Right. Gotcha. And so we've only seen one of them.
Yeah, you only
got to see one. If you want to see more, come to his classes.
Definitely.
or we'll record more in the future. But for right now, you only get group 1.
Yes. So it leaves you wanting more.
Yeah. All right, so let's watch the second video.
So here it's just everything I'm throwing at my son is random, and he has to defend. So within this feed, I'm feeding him multiple groupings, and he doesn't know what's coming. He just has to defend. He has to defend and react. Exactly. Gotcha. So you see, like, the body movement. You see how he has to get out of the way, the ducking.
That's a good little head.
Just like slipping the jab.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Like slip the jab.
Oh, nicked his finger there.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of the game. If you don't get nicked or hit once in a while, it's like, okay, what's going on?
Right. That means you're not going hard enough.
Exactly, or fast enough.
Or fast enough.
Now, what you just saw there is like what we call random disarming.
Okay, so in the midst of...
Yeah, so in the midst of me feeding him random strikes, so I'm coming at him. He doesn't know how I'm coming at him. I'm just going to come at him randomly. And then what he has to do is within that flurry of being attacked, he has to find a way to get rid of the weapon.
I see.
Get rid of the opponent's weapon. So that's what he does. And when he finds that opportunity, he will snatch the weapon.
Gotcha.
Because this is a stick. It's not a blade. We're not going to grab a blade.
Yeah.
But a stick is a blunt weapon. We'll take it.
So I need a blunt weapon. If you grab a stick, you grab a bat, you grab something of that nature.
Exactly.
Right? So.
And one thing I also wanted to bring up with our system, Taboada Balintawak, is out of a lot of eskrima, you know, when you see the way the stick is used, it's used in more of a bladed fashion.
Right.
You know, with our system, the blade and the stick are completely different weapons. One is a blunt force weapon, which is the stick. The other is a slicing weapon or a stabbing weapon.
Yeah.
So when you see how we use both weapons, you see the difference completely.
Yeah.
Blunt force trauma with the stick, gutting and slicing with the blade. So
there we go. All right, so we're still...
So now this is a disarm. It's
now
like taking, and then as soon as he takes it, he attacks, he strikes. But you notice how my son will take distance and then strike.
Right.
Because he wants the most powerful strike he can get to end the fight as quickly as possible.
Right. And so would that be at the very end of the, almost not quite to the end of the stick?
Well, it depends. It depends on my son's range, if he or the student's range. If he's in what we call a medium range, he'll use the middle of the stick.
Right.
If he's close in range, he'll probably use his fist or the butt of the stick, which is the bottom. Now, if he's at a further range, then he'll use the end of the stick.
Right.
So it just depends on the range of where the attack is coming from.
Gotcha. Have you seen which one is the most powerful? Is it
the most
range, or is it
to me, it's the more of the longer range.
Okay,
when you see that whack down, because you get just maximum velocity and power with that.
That's what I was wondering. If you got more velocity, if you take that step back.
Take that step back, and we call it the whack down. Boom, boom.
Okay. So then looks like he's practicing by himself.
Yeah, now right here he's demonstrating power striking, because we believe, like, once you disarm the opponent, you get the whack down, don't get me wrong, but you want to make sure it's over.
Right.
So we do multiple power strikes. But you notice that when my son or the student does this, it's not fancy, it's power. It's not all fancy and pretty, it's just straight to the point. And right now he's doing a drill here which is called defense and counter, first strike to the head, and then you defend and counter. So every time he's punching to the face, defending and countering.
Oh, I see.
So if you notice that first strike, right to the head.
Right.
Now I'm defending his striking. So he's coming at me with random stuff, and I just got to defend everything that he's doing now. So, and it's just to the point now where my son, he's faster than me because I'm an old man now. So.
Nah.
So I was just like, I got to keep up. But the whole rule of thumb, at least, I'm pretty sure this is with most systems, no matter what martial art it is.
Right.
But especially with Taboada system, and I've heard this from Guru John Soriano, which is one of my direct teachers, and my other teacher, Grandmaster Bobby Taboada. The whole point of being an instructor or a teacher, when you teach your student, the goal is for them to be better than you.
Right.
If you're not teaching them to be better than you or to surpass you, then your teaching's in vain. You want your student to become better than you.
Right.
Not at a certain level. You want them to become beyond you.
I'm not saying you want a 2-year-old to be better than you.
No,
right?
not at all.
Yeah, but
you want to mold that person to be better than you.
Right.
So eventually, when they go out and teach, the martial art is even that more enhanced.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that they're taking what you've done as far as you could go.
Yeah.
And possibly you're stopped and you're too old or whatever it is with the art, and then they're able to pick up where you left off and then take it up to another level.
And then what their job is when they take a student, they have to get their student better than them.
Right.
So it always keeps our system progressing.
Right.
So like one of the final tests in our system, when you reach it, you have to come up with 24 of your own techniques that you brought into the system yourself.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like, okay, well, using someone else's. You have to invent these techniques on your own.
Right.
And you have to be able to do them at full speed and play randomly like you saw my son and I do.
Right.
You have to be able to do that at full speed, full power. But what Grandmaster Bobby always says is simple to the point.
Right.
Not flowery and pretty. Simple to the point.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Hopefully, everyone, you have enjoyed this video. Thank you again, Sifu Azeem, for walking us through these videos and for your time with this.
No, I appreciate you having me, Dwight. Thank you so much. And I appreciate how, you help promote the Eskrima Balintawak and all the other martial artists. And it's really good for us to have this. And I just wanted to end this session by saying, I don't think any martial art is better than any other martial art. All martial arts have something great to offer, and I want to quote my teacher, both of my teachers, John Soriano and Grandmaster Bobby, be friends with everyone and be a good example.
Hey, that's great. All right. Thank you very much.
Right,
and thank you for listening. I will put all the contact information on this video, on the podcast, so you can reach out to Sifu Azeem if you want to reach out to me if you have any other ideas or anything you want to talk to us about. So thank you again for listening, and this has been another Martial Arts Musings.
And you can also like Puget Sound Eskrima via Facebook. Puget Sound Eskrima.
Ooh, there we go.
We'll
put that one on the website too.
Right, I plugged it. Thank you.
Plugged it. Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Latest. Bam.